Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear Venerable Sangha, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to join us in this quickly Buddhist Newsreel on Phật sự online channel. Hereafter, 8 major headlines of Buddhist activities of the week. Ho Chi Minh City, commemoration and requiem for deaths in COVID-19 pandemic. Most Venerable Chairman visits Tông Kim Quang Pagoda and donated for deconstruction. Venerable Thích Minh re-elected to be leader of Phú Thọ Provincial Buddhist Bioarchaeal Board. Ho Chi Minh City, Hòa Khánh Monastic Research Intermediate School organized Team I Academic Course 2020-2023. Venerable Thích Quảng Hiền elected to be head of Đắk Nông Provincial Buddhist Bioarchaeal Board. Ho Chi Minh City, Minh Đạo Pagoda organized a day of blood donation to save people, Bodhisattva's charity. Ho Chi Minh City, second vegetarian culinary fiesta at Thiên Chánh Pagoda. Ulambana Fiesta of Buddha Calendar 2566 Solar Calendar 2022 at Thiên Phúc Pagoda in Poland. The following are the news in details. On the morning of August 18, 2022, the requiem for deaths in COVID-19 pandemic solemnly took place at Vietnam National Pagoda in Ho Chi Minh City.
In his opening speech, Most Venerable Thích Quảng expressed that the Great Requiem was an opportunity to observe the peaceful silence for those who unfortunately passed away during the COVID-19 pandemic. Thereby, it was an expression of gratitude to those who died for the country. The presence of religious leaders and government leaders would highlight their filial piety, contribute more compassion and intellectual energy to the ceremony. The Most Venerable believed that this energy would relieve in suffering, dissolve resentment, and bring amity to the country. According to the Most Venerable, the city has changed after a year of COVID-19 pandemic. There are still people who have not been relieved when they pass away during the pandemic, and through this worship and requiem, they were reborn in a better realm to bestow for a rich and beautiful city and country. On this occasion, the organizing board held a ceremony to secure a stone stele in memory of COVID-19 victims and awarded 1,000 gifts with the value of 1 billion Vietnam dong to support disadvantaged family, and donated 1 billion Vietnam dong to the Fund for the Poor, managed by Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee of Ho Chi Minh City. Immediately after that, a solemn memorial ceremony took place under the conduct of His Holiness the Dharma Prelate, Venerable Thích Quảng, head of the city's Buddhist ritual section, in a pure atmosphere. Before that, the spiritual soul altar photos of local COVID-19 victims had been brought back to be placed at the Vietnam National Pagoda. According to statistics in Vietnam, there are more than 20,000 deaths in the COVID-19 outbreak in 2021, including people in frontline forces. Praying for the dead souls during the pandemic is meant to have the spirits rely on the light of the Buddhas to be reborn in a pure land, and at the same time, provide spiritual comfort to the victims' siblings and relatives.
On August 19, 2022, Most Venerable Thích Quảng, Chairman of the Administrative Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, visited the first Khmer temple built in Bình Dương Province, Tông Kim Quang Pagoda in An Bình Commune, Phú Giáo District.
The visit embodies the Most Venerable special interest in Khmer monks and Buddhists in the East-Southwest region in general, and Tông Kim Quang Pagoda in particular. After the incense offering to the Buddha, Most Venerable, the chairman, visited the local people and the monks in their daily livelihood and practice, and Most Venerable also praised the devoted monastic service of Most Venerable Danh Lung, the monastery rector, and Venerable Châu Hoài Thái, the abbot who had built the temple to meet the aspirations of the Khmer people. On this occasion, The Most Venerable Chairman donated 1,000 bags of cement to help build the Tông Kim Quang pagoda, thereby praying for this old temple to be overhauled in soon completion, facilitating the solemn congregations of monks and Buddhists. Tông Kim Quang Pagoda was established at the end of 2018. Up to now, the temple has contributed to maintaining and preserving the typical cultural identity of the Khmer people, meeting the needs of returning to the origin of nearly 200 households. The Khmer Theravada Buddha sect, in collaboration with the provincial government, is continuing to promote propaganda, solve social security problems, equip the Khmer youth with knowledge, and nurture the language and literacy of the community.
On the morning of August 24, 2022, the Full-Top Provincial Buddhist Pagoda Board held the Provincial Buddhist Congress for the term 2022-2027 at the Full-Top Provincial Convention Center to evaluate the Buddhist achievements and propose monastic plans for the next tenure.
In his opening speech, Venerable Thích Quảng, head of the organizing board, emphasized the importance of the Provincial Buddhist Congress. In the spirit of solidarity and harmony, the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board step-by-step strives stability and development, and it is committed to serving the Dharma and the nation, actively contributing to building an increasingly civilized, rich, and beautiful homeland. Provincial Buddhism continues to strive to fulfill its goals and responsibilities in the coming term. In addition to the remarkable Buddhist achievements in the past term, the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board has actively contributed to the social security works with an amount of more than 18 billion Vietnam dong, out of which 2 billion Vietnam dong was spent to support the prevention of the COVID-19 epidemic. At the Congress, Venerable Thích Quảng was nominated to be the head of the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board, and he received the second-class Labor Medal, awarded by State President Nguyễn Xuân Phúc. Meanwhile, the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board and 9 individuals also received certificates of merit from Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and certificates of merit from the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. In his blessing words, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhieu appreciated the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board for the Buddhist activities and contribution to social welfare work, as is reflected through a vivid and unique video report. The Most Venerable believes in the development of Buddhism in Phu Thọ Province.
On the morning of August 27, 2022, Hòa Khánh Pagoda's Monastic Preacher Intermediate School in Ho Chi Minh City organized the first semester exam for senior monks and nuns, course 11, the academic year 2020-2023.
In the morning, the monks and nuns had a test in 2 subjects, Sermon of Zen Meditation and Summarization of Avatamsaka Sutra. It is known that in the exam for the first and second semesters of the 11th course, 81 monks and nuns were nominated and introduced to participate in the course. The training course aims to foster knowledge and morality to help monks and nuns become dedicated and devoted preachers of Sangha. The Central Dharma Enactment section always wishes that the cause of spreading the Dharma would be popularized and spread, meeting the aspirations of Buddhists in all parts of the country, especially for people living in deep-lying and remote areas, ethnic minority areas, or remote islands. It is very much in need of attention and support in nurturing spiritual and moral life to help Buddhists assess the Buddha's wisdom teachings. Therefore, the Dharma Enactment section needs the commitment and service of trained monks and nuns.
The 4th Buddhist Congress of Đắk Nông Province, term 2022-2027, was held at the Provincial Convention Center, NGAY City on the morning of July 23, 2022, to evaluate the Buddhist achievements and the plans to the monastic affairs for the next term.
In witness, it was honored to have Most Venerable TIểng, Chairman of the Administrative Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable TIểng Pháp, Vice Chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha Administrative Council, Head of the Central Monastic Affairs Section, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhieu, standing Vice Chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha Administrative Council and honorifics of Patron Council. In his opening speech, Venerable Thích Quảng Hiền emphasized the importance of the Provincial Buddhist Congress to appoint qualified, virtuous, and prestigious personnel for Đắk Nông Buddhism to grow in the integration era. In addition to the Buddhist achievements in the previous tenure, the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board also established its own websites to spread beautiful images of the province's Buddhist activities to the masses, and also contribute to social welfare with over 51 billion Vietnam dong. The Congress agreed to appoint Venerable Thích Quảng Hiền to assume the role of head of the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board for the tenure 2022-2027. In bestowing, Most Venerable, the Chairman of the Administrative Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, deliver his encouragement and orientation for Buddhist activities of the province in the fourth term. The Most Venerable believed that the newly elected Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board would continue to contribute to the construction of a stable Vietnamese Buddhist Sangha, an outstanding development for Đắk Nong's hometown, and hope that the new Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board would reach the achievements to welcome the 9th National Buddhist Congress.
On the occasion of Ulambana Filial Piety and follow the enactment of Official Letter number 39 HDTSVB1 issued by the Most Venerable TIòng NGANH Minh Pagoda, in collaboration with the District Red Cross Association, organized a day of blood donation to save people, Bodhisattva charity, on the morning of August 24, 2022.
Humanitarian blood donation is one of the noble acts imbued with human values. Just by donating a part of our blood, we have saved lives from the risk of losing loved ones, friends, and first of all, the lives of patients in need of blood. It is known that, due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, a shortage of blood to save patients has become even more serious. Therefore, this is a time when the cooperation of every citizen is needed. For a Buddhist, donating blood to save lives is also an opportunity to practice bodhisattva conduct, generate bodhicitta, and spread love to sentient beings and fellow human beings. Accordingly, this meaningful activity received positive responses from monks, Buddhists, and local people, who donated hundreds of blood units to the National Institute of Hematology blood transfusion in this charity event.
On the morning of August 21, 2022, at TIòng NGANH Pagoda in Ho Chi Minh City, the Tân Phú District Buddhist Sangha had the second vegetarian culinary fiesta to raise funds for the poor and the fund for the motherland, sea and islands, the front line of the fatherland.
Addressing the audience in the opening speech, Venerable Thích Quảng Hiền said that the purpose of the program was to awaken the filial piety of the children, create conditions for the generations in each family to know how to accumulate blessings and keep good health through the vegetarian food. Eating vegetarian food is also an opportunity for Buddhists to create blessings for their parents and grandparents. The vegetarian culinary market had many delicious dishes imbued with the cultural identity of the nation. All display dishes in stalls are cooked by Buddhists of the pagodas in the district, and the collected money from this market will be donated to charity. On this occasion, the District Buddhist Parochial Board donated 100 million Vietnam dong to support the fund for the poor, to support the people with extremely difficult circumstances in the district, and 20 million Vietnam dong to the fund for the motherland, sea and islands, the front line of the fatherland. Through the program, Venerable Thích Quảng Hiền added that the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha in Tân Phú District would accompany the nation, be always associated with social charity work to join hands with the government to build up the better life for the people.
On the afternoon of August 21, 2022, at TIòng Phúc Pagoda in Warsaw, Poland, The Ulambana Fiesta Buddha Calendar 2566 took place with the participation of a large number of Buddhists and Buddhist-loving relatives in Warsaw and some Vietnamese who went to Poland from Ukraine to take refuge.
In witness, it was honored to have Venerable Thích Đạo Giới, a minister of Thiên Phúc Pagoda, Venerable Thích Trung Đạt, a minister of Nhân Hòa Pagoda, and Tibetan lamas in Poland. After the rituals, the venerated monks respectfully gave birthday gifts to the elderly people who attended the ceremony, and the attendees solemnly celebrated the rose ceremony. At the ceremony, with her gratitude, Buddhist lady Trường Anh read a poem of Ulambana filial piety to praise her mother and father for giving birth to and upbringing her, and a Vietnamese Buddhist from Ukraine to Poland to seek refuge also offered a touching poem about motherhood. The whole ashram also listened to the Dharma talk with an explanation about the origin and meaning of the Ulambana and the word filial piety of Buddhist, shared by Venerable Thích Đạo Giới. At the end of the ceremony, the monks and the entire assembly chanted the Vulan Sutra on filial piety. The ceremonial program was also contributed by cultural performances of Buddhist singers performing songs praising the parents for giving birth and upbringing. The ceremony left behind deep impressions in people's minds about the philosophy of drinking water, remembering its source, and always respecting and maintaining filial piety towards the parents.
Venerable monks and nuns, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, the last news has signed off this quickly newsreel. Thank you for your attention and following. Goodbye and see you in the next program on PSO TV channel. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha.